Mauri's gonna get it right. She's gonna get it right.
I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what's happening. It's a Monday. But ladies, welcome. Bienvenidas. It's one of our favorite days of the week, and we know it's yours too. I invite you to take a few minutes so that you can start tagging your mom, your mother-in-law, your friends, your sisters, your tias, your primas, your daughters, your next door neighbors, anybody and everybody you can think of, because we've got a show for you tonight.
We sure do.
Time for you for ladies night. So the show where anything can and will probably happen, from having those conversations we have been avoiding to laughing about everything and anything. But most importantly, ladies, where God shows up, He wrecks our world, and we leave. Sorry, and you and I leave. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, ladies. We leave from here stepping into our purpose. So ladies, before we get started, can we say hello? Help me break the ice today, because it's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Yes.
So Koko, who is joining us this evening?
All right, ladies, tonight's guest her name is Christina Rivera, and she is a 26-year-old content creator who aims to see women thrive in every area of their lives. I recently started following her content, and let me tell you, she is absolutely hilarious. She values connection, vulnerability, and believes in the power of laughing your way through the process. Where were you 2 years ago when I needed you? Is Hispanic, so let me just make that clear right now, in case you're wondering. Her content inspires women to seek healthy relationships, love themselves wholeheartedly, and not take themselves too seriously. And mothers, if you have a brother, she is single. So here is a clip of her in action on a TikTok.
Our God is a lion, the Lion of Judah. Oh, ro 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 ro. Oh, ba 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 dee da ba ba. Ooh, yeah 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 yeah. Oh, yeah 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 yeah.
I can't welcome Christina Rivera to Ladies Night.
Hi guys.
I'm a fan already.
Yay.
So which one are you, Christina? Which one are you?
Yes.
Honestly, the muncher. I feel like I'm always eating. I have a coffee in my hand. I'm always, I'm doing something crazy. And I'm also Beyonce. Let's just be honest.
Let's just throw that out there. You
Okay.
are the little B. The little B.
I'm the little B.
Girl, let me tell you, that clip had me rolling for days. And I know I don't have the muncher. If I had a muncher behind me, you girls already know, I would have turned around and been like, you need to sit way back somewhere. You do not need to be in my presence all munching in my ear.
Oh my God.
Christina, welcome. We are so happy that you are here with us.
Thank you.
Ladies, it is time. We are playing games tonight. I just want you to know we are playing games tonight, but it's time for our first segment. It's time for Chick Chat. And ladies, we're going to be talking about the F word. Failure. Okay, we're going to be talking but Ness, calm down. We're going to be talking about failure. Now, failure can come in different skin, and let me explain that. Some of us have failed God. We have failed our spouse. We have failed our kids. We have failed work. We have failed ourselves. But before we begin, I wanted to make it clear that there is a difference between failing and being a failure. So don't get stuck in failure.
Yep.
Now, your girl here believes that failure produces perseverance. Somebody say that in the chat now. Failure produces perseverance if handled the right way. Okay, so ladies, I hope you're ready. Let's get into this conversation. Let's bring this into the light. Are we ready? Let's talk about it. And here we go. Virtual hosts, as you know, you chime in. And Mama Christina's watching, so be on your best behavior. Here we go. Question number 1 for us. Let's start it off. What has been, keeping it 100% real, what has been an utter failure moment in your life, and how did it make you feel?
So my first memory is just trying to finish college. I felt like a failure because I was consistently failing classes. And I remember just feeling like I'm never going to finish this. It's never going to happen for me. It's never going to be done. That was a tough thing to swallow and to kind of figure out, am I even in the right path? Like, is this something I should pursue? Another thing is a couple of like product concepts, business efforts, just big fails. I don't even want to get into that.
But we are. Chris, what is an utter fail moment in your life that you can share with us tonight?
One of my biggest failures and something that really steered my direction with God to know that I am loved fully for who I am, even though I made mistakes and everything. I grew up in church all my life, so I didn't know what it was really like to be a bad kid. I didn't really do anything bad. I go to Bible school and bam, I meet a boy and all hell breaks loose.
Mothers, don't send your daughters to Bible school.
Okay.
Mauri, let's pull her out. It's over.
The sad thing is, yes, I for sure let a boy kind of steer me in a way that just honestly made me feel like at the end of the day, I had failed God. I felt like I had failed myself, my school, my family, all of it. And I was left with just these feelings of not being worthy or enough for God to love me. And yeah, I ended up having to come into this realization or this huge moment. Happened to be an Easter service when I had seen a million Easter services all my life. But an Easter service at the time I ended up going to, and I felt just the reality and the true meaning of what him dying on the cross meant.
Come on.
Yeah.
But it took failure to do it. Come on, somebody. There's redemption. There's redemption for somebody tonight. Your failure was only meant for you to come to the cross. Mauri, talk about it.
Well, Christina, first of all, you need to let us know who the young man was because we're coming after him. That's right. Right, ladies?
I will take off my hoop in a minute.
That's right, girl. Well, mine, when I think about it, it's, and I don't know how many virtual women can relate, but motherhood. I mean, I don't know how many times as a mother I have felt like a failure and have just felt like, just man, guilty for failing and just, not, just feeling like it's accusing me on a daily basis. And another one is leadership.
Ooh,
I
okay.
don't know if you can relate, but man, in leadership, failing in leadership, but man, God has really, like Christina was saying a few minutes ago, isn't God good that his love and his grace comes and just, man, tells us, get up, it's time to keep going. So
Absolutely. So let me, I have a lot of failure moments, but one of the ones that happens quite often is every time I get off the altar after speaking, I'll just go to my room and be like, you failed that. That was a failure moment for me. And that's just something. I'm very hard on myself, and I feel very honored to be able to give forth the word, but I feel like I didn't do it right. I feel like I didn't do it right every single time, and I feel like, you know what, I need to get another job because I'm not doing this one correctly. But let's move on. Let's move on. This is my next question, and virtual host, please chime in. How do you define failure? Chris, let's start with you.
Ooh, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't call me first.
You
Defining
were trying to hide in the back of the room, but I found you.
I guess, yeah, failure is feeling like you did something wrong, like you didn't meet an expectation.
Ooh, mm-hmm. Love that.
That was on like either you or God, family, church, whatever the expectation is, feeling like you didn't meet the expectation.
Oof. All right. Expectation. Mauri.
Man, it feels
failure.
For me, it feels painful. It makes it accuses you on a daily basis. It feels like you've done everything wrong and nothing right. And so when I that's the way I define failure.
Oof. Ness.
Failure, I have come to learn, and I like to define failure as the greatest teacher that you'll ever know. The greatest teacher. That's
Ness,
to me.
You would define failure as the greatest teacher.
Yes.
That is just so Nessified. That's in the net. So what causes failure?
I think for me, it's been boldness, is putting yourself out there and not knowing how things are going to turn out. That is one way to see it. That's one way to see what that could cause failure. Another that I think is the lack of confidence in yourself. The lack of confidence in yourself and not being able to follow through and doing and getting something done. The self-esteem, will cause us to fail at things, and the lack of faith in yourself.
I like our virtual hosts who are chiming in. One of them said comparison. Comparison causes failure.
Yeah, that's a
right?
good one.
Because we have what Chris said, expectation. What are they expecting of me, and did I fulfill what they were expecting? But another one says comparison. You did it a certain way, and according to my meters, you did it better than how I did it. That's a huge one. What causes failure, Ness?
This is so simple. It's life. Because failure is inevitable. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how excellent you are, how talented you are, how amazing you are, how anointed you are, how perfect you are, how educated you are. It doesn't matter. At one point in your life, you will experience failure. So what causes failure? Living, breathing, that causes failure. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's just one of those things that's a part of life. And God has never promised us a life without failure. Never promised us a life without trouble, without conflict, without obstacles. And so, hello, girls, you're going to experience failure.
But there's a version in the Bible that some people are reading that think that life is going to come without troubles, tribulations, hardships, brokenness. I don't know what version that is, and I don't care to know, but truth be told, that's where we're. Chris, tell us what causes failure.
I think, like Ness said, I think just life alone just causes failure. I think what causes us to feel like failures is our inability to know our identity and to know like who we are in God, and knowing that with God we aren't actually failures.
Yeah.
That feeling of failure happens when we misalign ourselves with the reality that God is. Yeah,
Good. So
the
good.
one.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, we just gave like a tad bit in the beginning of moments in our lives where we felt like failures, or we feel like we failed. And the truth is, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And there are certain failures that are harder on ourselves than other times. So I've learned to ask myself this question, and this is for all our virtual hosts, because something that I wanted to talk about outside of our questions tonight is going through failure sometimes causes us to walk in life fearing failure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we start fearing failure, what happens is we don't live.
Right.
And we are so limited and we don't take risks. That was a big thing. That's how we're starting off this year. We're taking the risks. But for those that have failed, and failure hurts sometimes, can we keep it real?
Yeah.
Failure hurts sometimes. But one of the questions that I want to put out there is, what do you hear God say when you fail?
Yeah, I love this question, Lex, because here's the thing about failure. It feels a lot, it reads a lot, it speaks a lot like rejection. It speaks to us a lot like shame. Failure gives that sometimes a voice to rejection and to shame. And that's why we tend to want to avoid anything that has the possibility of failure in it.
So good.
Because we don't like to feel rejection. One of the most basic human needs is belonging, is knowing that you're seen, that you're loved, that you're wanted, that you're desired. And so we will try everything possible to avoid situations where failure is an option. But meanwhile, you're out there not living your life, not
That's
doing
right.
the things that God asked you to do, not honoring his voice, honoring his call, honoring the identity and the distinct anointing that he's put in your life by not taking risks. Because like we said before, failure is inevitable. So what do we hear God say to you when we fail? I think when we have experienced a failure in the journey or in the midst of pursuing the thing that he's asked us to do, he's saying, well done.
Ooh.
He's saying, well done.
So you hear the Father
Keep
say, in the
going.
midst of your failure, you hear him say, well done.
Well done, keep going. And I want to be clear that I'm talking about when you're on the pursuit of his heart, when you're on the pursuit of his call. Now, if you're failing like morally in your marriage, you're failing in, other ways that break his heart.
Ooh, talk.
I think that he is saying, let's go. Let's try it again. I love you. Let's try it again. That doesn't define you. Let's try it again. So
wow. So you just came at us all different directions. And I think that this is important because I know if we have 4 women on here right now, Koko in the back, and we all fail. There are women out there right now that feel like they can't get this together, that it's not going to go right, things are not going to change, that they're going to stay stuck. To hear the Father say, get back up, to hear someone that's messed up, that has done something against God's heart, and him say, I still love you, that's not in the English language. All right, Mauri, how do you feel? What do you hear God say?
Well, I just read on the comments, and that's one of the things that I was going to say that I always hear God tell me is get right back up. And what I remember listening to a preaching at one time, and they gave this story of a baby when they're learning how to walk, and they fall, how the mom is there cheering him on, and the mom knows that eventually that kid is going to walk. It's the baby's going to learn how to walk. That's what's expected, of the child. So the mom's cheering him on, and she's telling him to get back up. And right after the story that he gave it, he said something that really stuck to me. It says, not only does God expect your victory, he anticipates your failure.
Yeah.
So I feel, isn't that amazing? So when I hear God telling me to get up, I know that he's already anticipating that I'm going to fail, but he also knows that I'm going to have the victory from whatever situation, from whatever it is that I feel that I'm failing at. And so every day I get up and I do that. There's, at times this show, even being here at times, man, I don't know about our other hosts that are on here, but there are times that we can get off from here and I'm like, man, I really messed it up today. Man, I really feel like I didn't do a good job. But again, I feel that. I feel like God saying, hey, but this is where I have you. You're seeing the present. You're seeing the little errors that you've made, but I'm seeing the bigger picture. And so that's what motivated me to keep going.
So good. Chris, what do you say? What do you hear?
I love just the topic of going into this. Like, the more that we're talking about it, the more like fueled I am about just how passionate I am to like tell people that like God is so for them even in the midst of their failure.
Yes.
Yes. Be so like say the Lord's voice in such a gentle way of like when you fail, say it is morally or whatever. It's like, yeah, hey, yeah, that's not you. Let's get back up. Let's turn the other way. Let's make a new path. Let's turn this around.
Yeah.
And when I guess what I hear God say is whenever I fail, which is hard to hear. When you feel like a failure, it's really hard to hear anything but God's voice.
Come on. Say that.
And push past it. What I really do hear is you are enough. Even in your failure, you are enough. You are enough. You are enough. That's the main thing I always hear.
My God, this is happening. Healing Hearts. Come on, we do this so that women can step into their purpose. And one of those stepping stones to step into our purpose is failing. So here it is. Here's the $1 million question. Why is failure important in life?
Well, I believe that we have the possibility to gain perspective. We are able to also see what is essential and what isn't, what's real and what isn't, what is important and what isn't important. We grow from those things. We learn to value, and we learn to just we're climbing ladder. We're able to climb a ladder and continue to go forth. So that's what I feel that. That failure is important, man. And I don't think I would have it any other way. I think I would rather fail 1,000,000 times if that means that I'm going to continue to grow and God's going to continue to launch me into the plan that he has for my life.
Come on, Chris, why is failure important in life?
Failure is scary, but it's so worth it because it does help you grow. It helps you, like Mauri said, it helps you gain perspective on what to do. It helps you shift to know what not to do next time. It helps you it's like as much as we hate it, it is this like friend that we need to lean on a little more, in that it's not scary. It's not a bad guy, but it is something that is just teaching us how to do it differently next time.
So good. Yeah. Failure is important. And I had this thought on Sunday night. I was at a worship night and I was just like going in, like just hands raised, like weeping tears. And I thought to myself, there's probably people back here, because it was in a church I don't go to, that might look at me or someone like me and think, wow, she's really successful with her relationship with God. Wow, she really is very close to God. And I thought to myself in that moment, kind of looking at the situation from an outsider's perspective, that I don't think that I'm more successful in my relationship with God. I think I'm just that hungry. And so I just want it. And
So
that, I think, for those of you that are watching tonight, just feel in my heart to share, like, you're looking at us on here like, wow, those are those are exemplary Christian women. Those are the most put together, the most holy, the most righteous. And because they are just so committed to this every day. And I would just contend that we might not be more holy, more successful, more righteous. We might just be that much more hungry than the average woman. Like, I am so desperate for God in my life.
yeah.
I'm so desperate for him. And that's why I can come back to it over and over again. And that might be the difference between a failure and a success, is how we define success. What does that look like? And I look to, if you think about who is the most like successful person that you've ever thought of, maybe it's in entrepreneurship, maybe, I don't know, whatever it is. Most entrepreneurs, most experts, most people that we as a society deem successful will tell you about all of their massive failures, all of their bankruptcies, all of their foreclosures, all of the greatest people on earth, the greatest leaders know firsthand what rock bottom looks like.
That's
because
right.
they've vacationed there a couple of times, but then they left. You see, failure is not fatal. Failure is a place that we go to learn some things in life, and then we move on. And I think they say, Thomas Edison, in his effort to create what we know as the light bulb today, had like some odd failures. And when questioned about this, he said, well, I just learned 1,000 ways not to do it.
Yep.
Good.
In my effort to learn the one way too. And so how do we define failure and success? And really, if you think about it, is there such thing as failure, or did I gain something that I didn't know before?
Wow.
That's why failure is important.
Yeah. And it's so good. And a lot of our virtual hosts are saying failure is growth. Let me tell you, I fail by not failing. What do I have to teach anyone if I have no lessons in my life? And I love what Ness concluded with. Honestly, so many times I don't have the successful business that I have today because I had to go through things. In marriage, I've had to go through things to have the marriage of my dreams today. In ministry, I've had to go any area of our lives in order to find the gold. We've had to be crushed. We've had to, we have had to come to a complete surrender. Right. And that's when we get, back in Washington, we had orchards everywhere and the best apples. If you look in your markets, Chelan Fresh, that's where you get them. But in order for these trees to grow this beautiful fruit, they had to be pruned. And so many times that's what failure does. It prunes the bad part of us to grow the best part of us.
Yeah.
And we cannot be afraid to do it. So tonight, as we close up, we have our call to action.
Ladies, we don't like to leave all of this good, positive, happy talk just to be that. We want to give you something tangible, an action, a challenge that you will take this week. So this week, your call to action is to dust off an old failure. Give it another go. Tell a friend about it. I want you to call up one of your sisters and ask them to hold you accountable. Maybe it was an idea you had, a goal, a broken relationship, a business concept, a new habit, that diet that you've been thinking about. This week, we challenge you to bring that failure before God and ask him to breathe life back into it. And that concludes our chit chat.
Ladies, it is now time for the segment called She Things. This is the segment where we share beauty and lifestyle products, hacks, and so much more. But girls, we are not the only ones that share our finds. All of our amazing virtual hosts will also comment and let us know some of their goodies. So tonight, we are going to be talking about fragrance. for more specifically perfumes. So I was thinking with Mother's Day around the corner, hint hint, the just maybe somebody might need some help with getting us a gift or something. So, ladies, we are going to be. I'd like to. I want to know what your favorite fragrance is. Do you got girls like the clean scent? Do you like the sweet scent, the flowery? When it comes to perfumes, and I want you to know that I dislike the flowery scent. I can. It gives me a headache. I don't like it. But I love not only my perfume, but the way my house smells. I love a sweet scent. So, and I do want to share my favorite perfume. It's called Hot by Givenchy. I've been using it for the past 6 years. The best. So if
Hot.
anybody's looking for a new perfume and they like the sweet scent, I recommend that one.
Mauri likes it hot.
Okay, I love the flower scent in flower form. Don't bring it to me in a lotion bottle from Bath and Body Works. I do not like that scent. But if you're sending me some flowers, I definitely love that scent in my house. But the smell that I like is I have it right here, the YSL bottle. And I'm not bougie like Lex in my perfumes. If I need to be bougie, I'll just go borrow some from her closet. But that is mine. It's probably maybe $80, $85. Not too expensive. It's about your average.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Well, it is now my turn. And I just want you to know that I'm going to take over this segment because this is my question right here. Okay. Where shall I begin? Let's start with the low. Okay. We're going to go high, low. We're going to go low, high today. This right here. What do you know about J-Lo's Miami Glow? You only know about the first J-Lo scent. Miami Glow, though. Let me show you this bottle right here. Miami Glow is my summer scent, and this thing will stay on me all night long. This right here, okay, this is my second bottle. Haven't opened that. It's delicious. I mean, it is just a whole thing. It's not hot like Mauri, but if I'm going to a wedding, okay, y'all don't know about this right here. This is Toca Florence because they have like 4 of them. This is flowery, so I guess I won't be sitting at Mauri's table during the wedding, okay? But this right here says, "Hello, I came to your wedding and I smell better than you do." That is that. If I want to smell fresh, okay, I'm gonna go for the good old Chanel number 5. Okay, classic, the white. This is just clean. This is just wee. Okay. This is like a daily. This is like a daily for all the girls. And if I want to be a boss, we're going to have a meeting today and I need to present. Okay. I'm going to come out with the Givenchy. Okay. Y'all don't know about the Givenchy. Okay. I'm going to come out with this right here. This is, she came into the room. Yes, she sure did. Okay. And I'm about to take over the meeting. And last but not least, last but not least, I want to say that this here perfume needed a whole new bottle. I wasn't excited about it. And I was about this perfume before this Mr. and Little Miss influencers got to this bottle. Okay. This right here. The Maison. What is this? Rouge 540. This right here. What do you know about getting your name engraved into the bottle?
Okay.
You are cool.
I just want cool is not the word, Christina. We're gonna have to talk
cooler
about that
than all of us.
This right here, this was my she things for the season, and I'm gonna take my she things moment and tell you that when Miss Lex shows up in this, you're gonna smell her, and you know what? In your dreams, you're also gonna smell me.
We can already smell you through the screen.
I know. I already have a headache, Ness.
I know.
I can't.
I have a perfume. I don't know what it's called because I didn't buy it. I am not the perfume smelly person in my home. In fact, my husband is. He's the one that goes to Bath and Body and buys the candles and the wallflowers and the blah 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 blah. I don't know, smells good. We prefer clean scents, so that's something we agree on. Cool. He smells great all the time. I actually prefer like the unscented. I'm like unscented deodorant. I just don't understand the concept of having all these different smells for your hair and your wrists and then your deodorant and then your look and everything smells different. And I'm already getting like allergies just thinking about it. So
I'm gonna sniff you next time we see each other.
you can, I mean, I don't stink. Okay.
I'm sure you don't. I just want to sniff you. I want to smell your unscentedness.
All right. That's what I'm
But we
saying.
know,
So
but we do know that her toothpaste smells good.
my toothpaste,
What toothpaste do you use?
I use Aquafresh. It like burns your mouth. It's so strong.
Oh,
It's very important.
so you trying
If
to
it doesn't burn, don't even like, it needs to like burn your gums off. Like it's so strong.
Well, I am more like Ness. I like ran as soon as you did this. I was like, I'm gonna go to my bathroom and grab my perfume. So I am not like Lex over here, who has a million perfumes. I have this one perfume that I've had for years, and I am almost running out. So what I do is only for special occasions am I using this.
She puts water in it.
Yeah, I wish I should do that. But what I do now instead is like I don't put anything on other than my deodorant. And if I know that I'm going to see something special or go somewhere special, I will put a little spritz because it's expensive as heck. And I will not spend a lot of money on this. I'm actually already depressed because
What is it?
no, I'm running out. It's Chance Chanel. And I don't know the name of it. Alexa, you could probably
Yes.
read it.
Yes, that's
Oh, it's
all
Chance.
the pen. Yeah.
Ooh, I knew you would know the name. I knew you would know. And I've even tried to ask myself, like, what smells do I like? And when I smell this, I don't know. I'm like, is it sweet? Is it flowery? I have no idea. I just know it smells good.
It's a fresh scent. Yes.
Yes, okay, I like fresh then.
That's what she likes. Fresh.
There you go, ladies. There we have it. If you ladies have a perfume that you would like to recommend to all of us except for Alexa, go ahead and just comment and let us know. We will try it. I will volunteer to go and buy one and try it out, but it's got to be sweet. So there you have it, ladies.
It's got to be price efficient.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
We're going to keep helping you get your life together, sis, because we are moving on to Girl, Get It Together. And during this segment, you already know we take on real dilemmas from real women. That's right, you girl, you, the one that are watching right now, and offer advice to help you get it together, sis. So tonight's question is from one of our loyal viewers, and she writes, Dear Ladies Night, I have an unanswered prayer to see my husband and his sister's relationship restored after a fallout. After many attempts to reach out, it's clear to me that she does not want any kind of relationship. It pains me to know that our kids will not grow up knowing their cousins, and I'm starting to feel hopeless, desperate, and feeling like God is not going to come through. Do you have any advice for me on this matter? Signed, Desperate In-Law. So Mauri, let's start with you. What advice do you have for our girl?
Well, as I was reading it, I'm thinking, is it you trying to fix the situation between your husband and his sister? Is it you trying to make things better? Because I think that it might be a situation where both of your husband and his sister need to talk it over, since they are the ones with the issue. I also think that you might need to pray more instead of trying to fix the situation or worry about how to fix it. That might be something you need to do, is really go to God in prayer and asking God to give your husband wisdom and to give her wisdom to be able to fix the situation.
There you go. Lex.
You don't need her in your life. No, I'm just kidding. This is difficult because, I was raised that family is family, you know, and the moment that you marry into our family, that's it. Like, you are married into us. We love you. You know, we want to see you. We want to be a part of your life. So, I don't know. There needs to be a conversation there. There needs to be a conversation. There needs to be a sit down. There needs to be a come to amends. God is for a family. God is for love. God is for unity. That's who God is. So, trying to get them together and kind of talk about it. From what I saw, you know, it's not just about praying and waiting for something to happen. Sometimes you got to make things happen on your own.
Okay, Christina.
I actually have, when I read this earlier, it instantly reminded me of a friend, someone that's really, really close to me, who's going through almost the exact same situation. And they've actually seen counseling to see how to handle the whole situation. And with this, it's more of like a problem with their own a parent. So it's like their parent doesn't want them in their life anymore. It's like a big thing. And one of the biggest breakthroughs, because it's also in my heart to want to invest, just like the writer who's like wanting to kind of take part in making it like a solution happen. But one of the biggest things that I learned was, or that even my friend learned, was that there's only so much that you can do. Like, obviously, yes, it's praying, but then there's like, what can you do for yourself to let go and heal, that doesn't require them, that doesn't require the person that's offended you, that's hurt you. Like, how can you work within your own heart to forgive, to let go, to process
Good.
what you need to do on your side, so that you don't actually hold them to this expectation that they need to come back. I'm just like Alexa over here. I'm Hispanic, so family's family. Like, everyone, you're just invited into it no matter what.
Right.
So it's a very confusing process to me, how a family would like not want to have you in your life. But it's at the end of the day, like, they're powerful people who make their own decisions. And if they don't want you in their life, like, it's up to you to handle how you're going to react to it. So working on yourself.
All right. Well, my advice for you is, number one, it sounds like you have reached out to your sister-in-law. And my advice for you is, first and foremost, is to respect her boundaries. She has made it kind of clear to you that she's not ready. And the best thing you can do and the most underestimated thing that we can do for others, is to honor their boundaries when they've made them pretty clear. And there is a really wise way to check on these boundaries periodically, such as, are you okay if I call the kids on their birthday? Would you consider letting our kids like have a play date or hang out sometime, and kind of see where that goes? But first and foremost, respect her boundaries. And I guarantee you that's going to lead to just like a mutual respect and understanding, which can then lead into a relationship and a restoration. And then my next piece of advice is to let go of your idea of what this relationship should be. And we only got, your question here, but what I didn't read was that you're praying for healing in the brother and the sister. It sounded like you're praying so that these kids can grow up together, which is a different prayer before God. So my advice to you is to let that idea go. And it sounds like, just from this, that you're already telling God what and how to answer this prayer for you. Yeah. And as an in-law, as somebody, I am married too, I have in-laws, there is a whole complicated history and details that you're just not privy to. You just have no idea all of the complicated little things that have gone on through the span of their upbringing together. You're a spectator in a game that you're not playing in. And if you really want this relationship restored, then you should ask yourself, are you okay with the idea that it might not look like how you imagined it to look? And I know this is tough, but that's my advice for you, is, again, to just respect those boundaries, and you can check on them periodically as you take this to God before prayer. Let go of those expectations, and he might even restore it to a place better than you had planned out for him. So
yes,
that's our Girl Get It Together tonight. But ladies, if you have a question for us a challenge, a dilemma, a debacle of your own, can you let us help you, girl? Send us an email to thisismytimeministries@gmail.com or DM us on any social media platform at thisismytimeministries. Want to remain anonymous? No problem, sis. We got you covered. Hit us up so we can help you get it together.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
All right, ladies. So we are currently taking entries for our big, like never before, giveaway conference coming June 25th and June 26th. So in the description, we will have a form for you to fill out to be entered into this entry to win a trip down to Seminole, Texas. Where is Seminole, Texas? It doesn't matter because I'll be there. So you want to come. And it's the best women's conference I have personally ever been to. It's going to be June 25th, 26th. So before anything, make sure that before you enter, you can have those dates off. You will get a flight down here. You will get a hotel paid for, and you will get a VIP entrance pass. So start filling out. We already have several entered. So keep on filling out those entry forms, and we will put your name into a pile.
Hi, guys. I am so excited that I'm even a part of this. I've known Vanessa and Alexa for so long, since I was in middle school. And it's been really cool just to I haven't actually even heard from Alexa in years. And so when I got reached out to speak, I was like, of course. I feel like it was just instant. Of course, we're family. Like we were saying earlier, we're Hispanic, we're Latina. So as soon as you're family, you're part of the fam, So I'll do anything for Vanessa. I'll do anything for Alexa. Thank you so much for having me. I am really excited to talk about this topic of failure. And I know we don't have too much time, so hopefully I don't run out of things of time. But when I was thinking about what to say around the area of failure, I had a million thoughts running through my mind. I personally am someone who constantly walks this out and is learning how to process failure in healthy ways. I don't know if you guys know about the Enneagram at all, but that it's like a personality type test or personality type that just kind of gives you more intel on who you are as a person, how you function, why you do the things that you do. And it's a really good way to just get to know yourself better. But I have found out that I am an Enneagram 3 by nature. I fear failure by nature. And I've had to learn how to let God love me in the midst of my imperfections and in the midst of my failures. It's something, like I said, that I'm constantly working out. And like I said earlier, I had so many directions I wanted to go in, but as soon as I sat down and journaled, I really felt like I wanted to let my heart lead the direction of where we would go. And that direction happened to be my current life, like right now. Right now, I'm in a place in my life where things feel really uncertain. I have a lot of dreams in my heart, dreams of getting married, dreams of growing in my own business, which, by the way, they said I was single. I am not. I am in a relationship, have been for 2 years. I love my boyfriend. It's amazing, but just wanted to clarify that. I have dreams of getting married one day, dreams of growing my own business, and dreams of continuing to be a voice for women of all ages to grow in their confidence and walk with God. And while I dream very big, I'm facing shifty waters right now that are causing doubt, that are causing fear. I have these thoughts like, will things go as planned? Will I see what I've been contending for? Is this going to end well? And the truth is, I honestly have no clue. I don't know what the ending is going to be at all. And it's scary not knowing what the outcome is going to be. It feels unsafe, and I'm unsure where to even step because I fear that I'll slip and fall. And it feels vulnerable to risk and vulnerable to fall. What if everyone laughs? What are people going to think if this doesn't work out? How will I get up from this? What if I wasted all of my time putting energy into something that didn't last? And all of those thoughts are very valid, and as real as they may feel, I do feel like I need to risk anyway. I've always been a natural risk taker. Even though my personality fears failure, I have this deep conviction in my bones to go for what I want. Maybe it's because I grew up the baby of the family, and naturally they are spoiled babies. And so me being a spoiled booty, I think I have learned to just know that if I want something, I'm going to get it. And I wonder if that helped with me just being someone who naturally goes for what they want. And as scared as I am in this current season, I think that I would rather fall flat on my face, giving it 100% like I always do, than to give up halfway and wonder what could have been if I had just stuck it out. And as I was thinking about today, I felt like I was going to be talking to 3 different types of women today, and we covered a lot of it today. I'm really happy of just like the whole conversation that we've been having today. And we're going to repeat some of the stuff that we talked about, but I felt like I was talking specifically to 3 types of women. And the first type of woman was the women who are afraid of failing, that they would rather stay in the same spot where it's safe. I'm talking to those who have had dreams in their heart, but have done nothing with them, who have felt a burning to go after their passions, but have yet to make any moves because they're crippled by the idea that they're going to fail. Failure is scary. I'm not going to discredit that, but it's also scary to never grow and stay in the same exact spot. Sure, you're safe, but you won't thrive. God made us to thrive and succeed from glory to glory, not to stay in the same spot. I hear this type of woman make excuses that I've made before, like, well, I'm just waiting to have all my resources available. I'm waiting for the right timing. Pastor Alexa actually spoke some wisdom a few weeks ago at another one of these ladies' night talk shows. And she talked about risk. The theme was risk. And she mentioned Ecclesiastes 11:4-6, where it mentions the farmer who waited for the perfect weather but never planted. And there's something so powerful about that verse. I've had a dream of being, me personally, I've had a dream of being a social media content creator for years. I've known all my life that I have influence and a creative gift to know how to create content for social media that is easy to understand and fun to watch. I love making content. I love making videos for people. And I've always known that there's a call in my life to do it. However, I wasted so many years waiting for the perfect time that, like the farmer, I never planted. It wasn't until December of 2020 that I felt like God was breathing life into this dream and saying that if he was telling me to go, that he would come through. And ultimately, he is the waymaker. And my job as a daughter is not to make things happen, but to partner with him in my yes. All he's asking for is my yes, and he is the one who makes the way. I had to understand that there was no pressure in failing over and over. God was using other people to confirm this reality. That I didn't need to wait to have all the stars align, but that what I needed was to risk and believe that God was going to honor my yes. It's in this exact place that we give God the ability to be God. This is where we put our faith to the test, that if God really is good, that if God really is for us, then he's worth the risk, worth my trust, and worth a chance at failure. Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. To trust means to put our faith in the hands of a God who promises good things for us. It is believing that if we fail, it might hurt for a moment, but that our God will dust us off and make straight our path because he said that he would. So many of us have more faith in the possibility of failure than in the God who says all things work together for good to those who love him. The second type of woman that I'm talking to are the women who have risked, fallen flat on their faces, and feel too humiliated to try again. Now, this might be the group of women who dated someone, got really hurt, and have refused to give love another try because failing the first time was too painful. This might be the woman who worked hard for the promotion, but was outbeat by someone else and now feels too defeated to have hope again for good things. Or so on and so forth, all the different reasons. But being in this space is hard because you are willing to risk, but were repaid with failure. It's hard to be in that place because you're like, I already did this. I already tried, and look at what happened. But something we need to understand, and that we mentioned earlier, is that failure is not an enemy. Failing gives us the opportunity to grow in our identity and gives God space to come close. It's an opportunity to let love in. It's proof that God doesn't love us for our perfection, but for our willingness to say, God, I can't do this on my own. I work for a company that has grown from, in 2 years, that has grown from like a $0 company to a over $6 million company in the span of 2 years. And it was my boss, or the CEO, who created this idea. He had this one idea and he thought, I'm going to try. And if I fail, I fail. And now he has this podcast. It's called The Fail Journal. And he thrives on talking about how failure is actually what he works for. That, like Ness said, if you fall and you fail, you're just learning a different way of how not to do it the next time. And I just think that is so real. We learn from just failure. We learn what to do from our mistakes. We learn what not to do. 2 Corinthians 12, 9 through 10 says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong." Choose to partner with your failure and see it as a lesson learned to do things differently next time. Because God is partnering with it. God is partnering with your failure. He's showing you, he's walking you in this. God is not a God who expects you to be perfect. He's a God who is aware, who anticipates your failure, but is proud of you for taking the risk. The third type of person that I want to talk to is the woman who feels like they've messed up and failed too many times to believe that the Lord can still love them and use them. This is for the women who have failed morally, who have failed their kids or felt like they failed their kids, who have done something wrong, who have messed up, who feel too dirty, too ashamed to be used by God. Those are the women that I feel God really calling us to, just really calling to. It's one thing to fail and another to be a failure. And I know we talked about this earlier, but the enemy wants us to believe that we are our mistakes. For example, you got drunk, so that means you're an alcoholic. You lied, so that means you're a liar. However, truth tells us who we really are. Truth calls us higher, and truth reminds us that we are not our mistakes. When we fail, God reminds us that in him we've already won. Your failure does not make you a failure. Like I said, I struggle with this one so hard because I'm very easy to beat myself up for anything that I do. If I disappoint people, if I disappoint my family, if I disappoint church, especially church. I grew up so in such an atmosphere where like you have to do. And if I wasn't doing enough, I felt like a huge failure. I felt like all of my identity was tied to what people thought about me. And making a mistake was not an option. If I made a mistake, I had failed God to the next degree. But I had to allow Jesus to sit with me in my failure. And I had to give myself space to know and hear what he was really saying about me. And I actually feel like a lot of us today, I want us to go to bed tonight and just sit in all of what we feel is a failure, in all of our thoughts of feeling like we're not enough. I want us to sit in that cave. And I want you to invite Jesus into that space and ask Jesus, what are you saying? What are you saying about me in this mess? And I know we talked about it earlier as well of like, what does God say? And some of us mentioned how God is kind. God is not going to yell at you or shame you and say, what the heck? Why did you do that? He's not an angry God. He's a loving, kind God. He disciplines. He doesn't punish. He disciplines. And I think a lot of us need to understand that he is a God who disciplines because he cares. And for the parents out there, you don't hate your kid because you discipline them. It's actually because you love them that you are giving them correction. And so sometimes we just need to let God correct us, but out of a place, knowing that it's from a place of love and knowing that it's because he knows that we're better than that. Say you're the person who lied or the alcoholic or the person who drank again. Instead of seeing yourself as this failure, as seeing yourself as this alcoholic, actually what God is probably saying to you is, hey, you're better than that. Hey, this isn't who you are. You're so much better than this. Let's walk this out. Come on, let's get up again and take another step. And so whether you are the person afraid to try, whether you're the person who's tried and is afraid and failed and is afraid to try again, or you're the person who just doesn't feel like God can love you in your mess, there is an answer for all of you, and there is a Jesus who wants to meet you in that very place. And so I want to pray for us because I know time has passed. I want to pray for us and just, end this with some hope that you guys are not you are not your failures and that you are capable of going for and risking. So Jesus, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you for all that you exposed. Thank you for all that you showed us, for all that you taught us. Thank you that you are awakening disappointment for the purpose of healing. Thank you, Jesus, that you are calling us higher. Thank you that you have called us to be made whole, that you didn't call us to be to stay in the same place, that you didn't call us to stay stagnant, but you called us to grow, to move, to go from glory to glory, that you called us to be yours, and that you're not asking us to be anything but daughters. And that as a loving God, you are for us and with us, that you're not afraid of our failure, that we are not our failures, that you are with us in the process, and that there's permission to go, permission to try again, permission to move. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Let me tell you, I am so, so proud. We haven't spoken in years, if not decades. And hearing you say that we met while you were in middle school doesn't make me feel old at all. Okay. Doesn't make me feel old at all.
I'm 26 now.
Oh, okay. And I just want to say today you spoke to generations. You spoke to mothers, you spoke to aunts, you spoke to your generation as well. And one of the greatest examples seeing you on here is that you didn't stay in a failed relationship. You talked about one of your greatest failures. You didn't stay in a failed relationship. Mothers, she's taken 2 years. That's quite a commitment. But you spoke into us right now, and I wanted to thank you personally for taking the time. I know what can happen when you say yes to God during a pandemic. And you said that in 2020, you said yes to God for a dream that you've had for so long. And tonight, for that woman that is listening and says, I just fear failing the dream that I have, if you never start, take Christina's journey as such an example. Chris, we love you, and we are so, so blessed. And we know that whether it be in worship, whether it be your influence as an influencer, whether it be online, whether it be on a pulpit, you are going to change nations. And I want to thank you for not staying in the failure, but believing the Father that He's going to take that. So thank you for sharing so much of your heart tonight. Ladies, if you were blessed right now, I want you to send Chris a lot of our heal emojis. She gave a whole word tonight. And before we conclude tonight's episode, I just wanted to thank my Vida Eve girls for getting us to over 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel. See, when you have a circle of women that believe in you, when you have a circle of women that believe in the God in you, there's no limit to what you can do together. So thank you on behalf of all the girls here, on behalf of This Is My Time Ministries. We are now official, and you could tell people an easier way to find us on YouTube. I pray that every single one of our virtual hosts finds a community on here of women that have failed. So connect with someone. We're going to, in the month of May, make that challenge. We want you to connect with someone on here because we're all walking into our purpose together. This Wednesday, I invite you to join us as we continue to talk about this topic tonight. We invite you right here. We're going to be talking on our heart-to-heart episode with Claudia Morales, recovering from failure, this Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on This Is My Time and Heals into Our Ministry pages. So we want you to come and join us. That's it for tonight's episode. We want to always end telling you, step out into your purpose, ladies. We love you, and we will see you next Monday night. Don't forget to win